Mr. Woken here. So, we're gonna be talking about Tournament of Power today. So, for people who've actually enjoyed like the Tournament of Power and thought everything was completely accurate and right about the story, in a sense of things, it wasn't really correct because it's like, the Goku Black. Oh, actually, no. What am I saying? Not Goku Black stuff. Basically, like the Jiren and all of the other universes and stuff. But we're gonna talk about like the lead up and the build to it and stuff. Because when you look at Whis and when he was training like both Vegeta and Goku to learn like Ultra Instinct, I felt that it was right for him to do it, and not wrong, but it was right for him to do it because basically that's like the technique of the angels, and that's what they're supposed to be learning, right? So during the fight of like the whole tournament and everything, I felt like Ultra Instinct should have been like used at that point, but I don't think it should have been mastered like towards the end, because I understand like everything was completely hype and everybody was like, oh yeah, we got like Ultra Instinct, like this new thing, Evolution Blue Vegeta, all this stuff looks amazing, which it did. I'm not disagreeing with you on any of that, like it did look really good, but the only problem is that Goku kind of like, now he didn't master it, but he mastered it like a little bit like towards the end, and I think that it should have been like this. Like, one, Goku should have he should have used Ultra Instinct, but like I said, he shouldn't have mastered it, and I felt like it should have been something different instead of like him like using like Ultra Instinct to beat Jiren. It should have been like maybe a combination of a lot of things, like maybe fusion, maybe a different power, maybe legendary and stuff, because personally I think that if they're trying to do like this path between like Vegeta and Goku, that Goku's going down like more of the Angels route while Vegeta's going down in the Destruction route, then it should have made sense as Vegeta should have been the one to gone legendary, or at least been able to tap into like legendary Super Saiyan, since he was like the one telling Goku, he was like, listen, like that girl over there, Kale, like she's using like legendary Super Saiyan, something that of legends. So in a sense, Vegeta should have been the one to have tapped into like maybe legendary Super Saiyan and possibly been the one to have defeated Jiren instead of it being Goku. Like Goku should have been the one to have tapped into like Ultra Instinct and then eventually would have lost to Jiren, or instead of losing, maybe they would have fused into Gogeta and possibly, I wouldn't say destroy Jiren, but possibly been able to hold their own against Jiren, because since Jiren was insanely strong at the time. So I think that's what they should have done and probably would have happened. And also Piccolo should have learned how to go into like God, or maybe Whis should have told him something, or he went to Namek or somewhere where they explained about like the Namekian God and stuff. Because if you think about like this, if this is basically the Tournament of Power, like the fate of all of the universes is at stake, like wouldn't you think that if the fate of all of the universes is at stake, that like Piccolo would have been like screw me and Gohan training, like okay, they could have trained, but it should have been more than that. Like okay, like this time the training is different, it's more like raw in a sense, because Piccolo is like, okay, I need to step my game up and stuff, because when you look at it, it should have been like, you got like Goku and Vegeta, right? But it should have been like Piccolo shouldn't have not given up and been like, okay, he's the protector of the earth too and this and that and stuff, but he should have also been like, no, I don't want Goku to surpass me. He killed Goku in the past, sure, and he got all of that out the way, but I felt like he shouldn't have also given up and learn, like try to figure out how to like tap into God or Namekian God or something, because like I said before, if the universe is at stake, wouldn't you think you would have pushed it to your all and actually would have learned something? So I think that should have happened in the Tournament of Power. Like Piccolo should have learned like some sort of form of God, and then Gohan, well, unfortunately, no matter how many people try to like save Gohan and say like, well, Gohan wasn't really a waste, or Gohan had potentials in like the Saiyan, I mean not saying the Cell arc and stuff, and then after that was it. But I mean, he had Cell, he had Majin Buu. That was kind of really it. He didn't really have, that much of an impact and stuff. And I think that it should have really played into a factor of him getting some sort of training from Whis, him able to tap into God Ki and him actually learning, like I said, the ways of the gods, and learning, like, you know, stuff that Goku and Vegeta learned, because you have him stick to like Mystic form, and Mystic was like so Buu arc, like we're way past that, we're years past like the whole Mystic stuff. Like, yeah, he was able to re-tap into it, but it's just that, like, that's all he is. It's like he needs to have learned like some God, like have him be put on like some sort of rigorous training, because like I said, if the universe is at stake, like when you think everybody would have pushed themselves to they peak and stuff, because how is it that in the manga Master Roshi is able to use Ultra Instinct? So it kind of defeats the purpose of Ultra Instinct in a sense, because technically if Master Roshi learned Ultra Instinct or know how to use Ultra Instinct, then he should have taught Goku when he first discovered the little bastard. When he first discovered him, like, oh, okay. You taught him the ways of the hermit. I mean, not hermit, the turtle school, and then you taught him the Kamehameha. Like, it should have been like, okay, now I'm gonna teach you Ultra Instinct. This move is gonna take you years and years and years and years and years to learn and perfect, but I'm gonna still teach it to you. So it's like, how is it that he learned? He knows how to like use it. So it's just like, I felt like that was kind of like all over the place there. It really was, because Toro was just, that man is something. But yeah, I believe that that's what should have happened. Like, everybody should have pushed until their all and stuff. Like 17 and 18 is fine. Krillin could have done more, but he was also fine. Tien should have learned something, like God Tien, like that was another factor. Like all the rumors that was going around, like, yeah, Tien was gonna get something or some sort of, he's gonna be a human god or anything. But like in my previous videos that you can watch, where I was just like, yeah, if you know, if Tien would have had the Jiren training, like how powerful he would have been if he would have had the Jiren training. So y'all can go check that out. Then you have like I said, you go back to like Goku and Vegeta. These two men is just, yeah, they're the be all and end all, but in a sense, it should have been maybe Vegeta to have taken out Jiren and him using like legendary Super Saiyan, or him tapping into it, because it's like correctly, because Jiren stood out more than everybody within the tournament. Yeah, everybody had their spot, everybody was doing stuff, but it was mainly Jiren. Jiren pushed himself to an extent where he surpassed the gods of destruction. So it was like he played his part to a T compared to like Goku and Vegeta and the rest of them, where they didn't really push themselves to a T like that. And it was just like, okay, they got somewhat lucky on the win, because Goku was able to use Ultra Instinct. That's how they was able to beat Jiren in a sense, because it was, I guess, out of luck. You know, it finally happened and stuff. He was in the moment. You know, he fell into the Spirit Bomb and then, I guess, absorbed some stuff, and then he became Ultra Instinct. And then during the fight, he was able to like tap, well, during different fights, he was able to like tap into like Ultra Instinct. So I was just like, okay, like that was fine, but I felt like it shouldn't have happened like that. It should have only happened like maybe twice in a fight. Like the fight when he fought against like Jiren the first time, and then the second time was when he fought up against Kale. I think that was the only two times he should have been only able to access like Ultra Instinct. After that, he cannot tap into it, and he doesn't know why. And two, the like Moro stuff. Yeah, until like the Moro stuff where Maris was training him, and that's when he would have learned how to fully go into like master Ultra Instinct and stuff. It's when the Moro stuff happened, and let's just say like, you know, yeah, because they kind of did it right, where Goku was fighting Moro, and he tried to go into Master Ultra Instinct, but he couldn't. So when he got the training from Maris, then he was able to learn, then he was able to like master it and stuff. So I felt that they kind of dropped the ball in a sense, because it was like, yeah, he was able to tap into it in the Tournament of Power, but they made it seem like, okay, yeah, he fully mastered it, when he didn't. But it was just, I don't know, I feel like they kind of dropped the ball there. And instead of like Vegeta having like Evolution Blue, he should have like been able to tap into Legendary and stuff, because it kind of almost seems like Vegeta will have Legendary Super Saiyan and Goku will not, because it's like, look at the two paths that they're going on. Like Goku is not even focused on that. Like his whole shtick is like is Master Ultra Instinct, while Vegeta is on the power of destruction, on the path of destruction, and that's the legendary Super Saiyan state where it's destruction itself. So it's like, seems like Vegeta's going down that road, and it should have been Vegeta to probably beaten Jiren and stuff. And then, like I said before, you had like Gohan, and Gohan should have been able to learn like some sort of form of God, but he didn't learn that. It was just all over the place. And I'm like, Jesus, like, this is what you've done. Like, defeated a whole entire universe, and possibly your universe getting erased. And they just said, well, you know, we're going to leave it on the whim. We're just only going to leave it on the two guys that's going to carry the entire thing, which they did. But it's just, damn, like, what about everybody else and stuff? Because, like I said, Jiren was perfect. Hit was fine. You know, Kale and Khalifa and Kaba was fine. You know, the other universes was alright. Bergama was, you know, fine. You know, everybody kind of played their part to a T. But it's just like, Jiren stood out. He was ready for anything. Like, if Goku wasn't able to learn, like, master Ultra Instinct, then it would have been over and stuff. But personally, I think that the Tournament of Power should have just ended off with Gogeta either beating Jiren, or Vegeta's able to tap into Legendary and he beats Jiren. Either way, I think it should have probably been like a Gogeta fusion and stuff. Like, they taught him, like, okay, you know, and it was just like, they could have fixed a lot of things in the show, but they didn't, because everybody was hype, everybody was rushing. It was like, we gotta get the story out there and stuff, and it was just like, this is what you get. Somewhat of a clusterfuck of a show, but it kind of worked, because it's like, now the manga is trying to like fix and clean some things up here and there and stuff. And you know, right now currently I think they're fighting Granola. Yeah, Granola. They're fighting him, you know, and we don't know how that's going to lead up to, since Toriyama did say that the Heater Clan and the Saiyans, they're supposed to be like some sort of big reveal. So it was like, all right, let's see how this goes and stuff. But it still doesn't change the fact that the Tournament of Power, there was a lot of missed opportunities. And there was a lot of lot of things that they could have done, should have done, but they didn't do it. So it was just like, okay, that's not how this works and stuff. Because imagine if they would have had Gogeta, Super Saiyan God Gohan, and then Namekian God Piccolo, and then 17 and Frieza. Boom, power team, freaking power team, right there. Everybody is catching it. You would have had a power team. Jiren would have had a hard time with most of them, like, but it would have been like a power team. Like, Universe 7 would have just been like, nah, son, like, you ain't messing with this. Like you got freaking God Piccolo on the room. Like, come on, man. Like, who's gonna stop God Piccolo? And then you got, like, you know, God Gohan. He's doing stuff. It's just, I'm telling you, man, missed opportunities. And we don't even know if God Piccolo will ever come to the scenes, or if Gohan is gonna do something. But if not, hey, it's always Goku and Vegeta. But yeah. You know, if you like what you heard what you like. You know, please subscribe, share. You know, do all that wonderful stuff. And I'll catch you later.